Welcome back to HPL. We just saw Dog take a 3-2 victory over his teammate superjj, move on to 4-0 here. And you know what? We've got him on the line. We can ask him a couple questions about that match and what he thinks about it and why he did what he did. So Dog, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Hey man, congratulations, 4-0 here in HPL. And you know what? It's probably never going to get old for you to have these interviews after every match. But my first question is, why did you bring the decks that you brought today? What were you prepared to see from superjj? And does it make any difference that he was your teammate? Like, did that affect anything?
Well, the only thing that mattered was that he was a good player and he's my teammate. So like, it didn't, like, the fact that he was my teammate didn't matter. It was more that he was a good player. And for the deck choices, I thought he would bring like more Warlock because he tends to favor Warlock and like Rogue also. So that's why I picked Freeze Mage first. I thought he'd pick Mally Lock, or I thought he'd pick Handlock or something like that. And then instead he picked Control Warrior, and I was like, at least, like, I don't know, I was like, I can win this if it's Patron. And then suddenly I saw like the shield block and the Belch here. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, we said the exact same things while we were calling the match, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I want to go to Game 3 in the Druid matchup, where superjj had a Sylvanas on the board, and you chose to create board tension and face down that Sylvanas. Talk to us about that spot in the game.
So basically, he could kill Sylvanas anyways if I did Drew the Claw charge, if he just wrapped it for one. So in that situation, it's best to be like mana efficient and just draw cards, because cards are basically how you win that matchup, because you cycle into your combo, you cycle into your answers, like BGH for a Ragnaros or things like that. Emperor would have been good, stuff like that. So in those situations, it's usually better to draw. And I mean, the best scenario for him was dealing with my slime in an inefficient way and stealing a 3-2, so yeah.
All right, so I have a question about the last game there when you were playing the Hunter deck against his Rogue deck. Now, the turn before you got the shielded mini-bot off the Pilot Shredder into drawing Lotheb, did you feel like you were going to lose this match?
It was kind of scary. I mean, I had double Wolf Rider in hand, and I was like, all right, that's like a lot of damage, but I was like waiting for a fan or a flurry or something, so I was like, I mean, like, I'm just going to like weave in my hero power. It felt like I was behind after he played Healbot. Like right after he played Healbot, I was like, all right, like I'm pretty behind. But he didn't put any pressure on me, and I was just kind of able to do what I wanted. I was at 28 HP like almost the entire game, I think. So I wasn't like too behind, but like the Healbot was a surprise because I thought it was a very aggressive deck with like Pirate, double whatever, and the Assassin's Blade. Yeah, the double the Buffy people who
Goblin
buff your
Auto
dagger.
Barber, yeah.
Yeah, that one, yeah. So I was surprised to see the Healbot, but the Lotheb top deck definitely helped.
Well, you played to your game plan. You had really no way to play around any AoE spells on that one, and yeah, you had to take a big risk, and it paid off for you. Congratulations on your 4th win tonight here in HPL.
Thank you.
Wow, what a match between those two guys. The first 2 games were kind of blowouts, but after that we saw very back-and-forth matchups. And in Game 5, Dog was able to stay ahead in pressure, but like you said, he was a little bit worried about that antique Healbot, but just had the right cards to push through the damage, and that Lotheb draw, whew! What a savage one that was.
Yeah, this has quickly become one of my favorite matches so far in HPL. We have a few of them that stick out. I mean, they've all been great, but this is one of the ones that's really going to stick with me going later. The Battle of the Unbeaten's Dog, just barely gets out of there. He said he didn't feel like he was going to lose. It looked a little bit closer since we could see superjj's hand. He was at a high life total, but he was starting to lose a grip on the game, and then things just kind of went his way there at the end, and he got to 4-0.
If you guys want to check out the full match recap, you can do that over at pvplive.net. See for yourself the strategies they chose to play tonight, and more importantly, how they play them. Our first match is in the books with Dog moving on to 4-0, and superjj now sits at 2-1. But when we come back, we're going to be setting up our second match of the night with Kaldi and Ostkaka. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.